Welcome back to my morning report on Tuesday the 7th of July with me, Rich Perry, market analyst at Hantech Markets. Moving on to cable now, sterling dollar. And I've sort of discussed in my morning report that perhaps sterling dollar was coming back to some sort of a low. I mean, if you look on this is across the last sort of 10 months or so. You can see that obviously the cable was in a downtrend phase, consistently with all the moving averages falling. It's now sort of turned a corner. It's now sort of leaving these key higher lows. Key higher lows that are coming, let me just highlight the red line, which is the 55-hour moving average. Key high lows which are coming around this 55-hour moving average, which currently comes in at 54.90 area. You look at these momentum indicators, they're more of a bullish configuration. MACD lines consistently were below neutral throughout the downtrend phase, as they should be, and now they're consistently sort of above neutral. And the MACD lines are starting to come back towards neutral as well. So that would suggest that they're sort of coming back into an area at which you'd expect to see the next low sort of starting to form as well. So you've got these two factors in place. And I saw this, just zooming in here, I saw yesterday's candle coming as a fairly positive move actually. You saw obviously an open well below, well down on the day. You saw the gap closed on the day and a subsequent sort of turnaround in sentiment, and I think that was a positive move. Obviously this is the intraday chart on the hourly chart. Yesterday's gap lower was closed and it was starting to look much more positive, I thought. In today's session you've had three negative, really quite strong negative candles in a row. We're now sort of down 70 odd pips on the day. We've just had the UK manufacturing production data disappoint, although industrial production was sort of slightly better. I suppose across the board you'd probably say a fairly mixed bit of data out there, but certainly the last three candles on the hourly chart are pretty bearish and falling away. Looks like that 55.15, which is yesterday's low, is going to get retested now. But there could be, we could be in the process. I'm not calling yesterday's low the low, because we could be in the process of forming some sort of a low. But it's interesting because I think around this 55-hour moving average something could be happening. So just keep that in mind as you're trading cable, because I'm still of the opinion that I think there's going to be again there could be the low, or coming back towards the support of that 54.50 old support line. Old support, new resistance should become new support, so around that point anyway, and that is just below that 55-hour moving average. So it's around this sort of point at which you might start to see the buyers coming back in again, or starting to think about coming back in. So just keep that in mind when you're if you're running short positions on cable. Yes, at the moment we do still have this sequence of lower highs and lower lows on cable, and certainly the last 3 hours would suggest that the downside pressure is still there. However, I'm just trying to point out to you that perhaps the downside potential in the on the daily chart is not as great as it was anymore. So just keep that in mind. Now, so you'd need to certainly see cable rallying above the 56.40 level, which was the reaction high we saw on Friday. If you started to see that would potentially, well, that would be constitute a bit of a near-term base pattern, and bearing in mind the downside target from this breakdown of the trading range has been achieved as well at 55.30. So there is the prospect, as I said, of a less downside potential now in this cable chart. So it'll be interesting to see how it moves in the next coming days. Anyway, I wish you good luck in your trading on it, and I'll speak to you later. Thank you.